What's up guys? Today's video is dedicated to clip-in hair extensions. And as many of you know, clip-ins are a really great way to add more volume to your hair or more length to your hair without the actual commitment of having like full-on bonded extensions. Or it is a really good way for people with bonded extensions to get a little bit extra volume for like a special night out or something. So personally, I have had keratin bonded extensions for 3.5, almost 4 years now, and I absolutely love them. They work for me and for my lifestyle, but I do also like to have clip-ins for an added little bit of volume and an added little bit of length, especially when I'm filming or when I'm going out somewhere or doing photo shoots. It's just a way to get my hair to be exactly the way that I want it. I've seen 1,000,001 videos on YouTube on how to clip-in extensions or how to wash clip-in extensions, and as that is very valuable information, it's just not information that I feel needs to be shared again. So this video will be about basically asking your stylist how to properly cut your extensions so that they blend in with your own natural hair, especially if you have shorter hair, how to make extensions look natural in your own hair. I want to talk about color matching. I want to talk about basically everything from the moment that you decide that you want to get extensions to the moment that you clip them into your head. In today's video, I'm going to bring you to the salon to meet my stylist, Brooke, who is going to let us know what you need to be asking your stylist when they cut your extensions. There are definitely a couple tips and tricks to getting them cut properly, so it is going to be a very helpful video for you if you do not want to get your extensions messed up when you go to get them cut. So the extensions that we're working with in this video and the extensions that I wear are the foxykarissa Latte Blonde clip-in extensions. They are the 24-inch length and they are 280 grams. So there is a lot of hair. A little bit about the brand. foxykarissa is a UK-based company and it is owned by Imogen, who is actually a YouTuber. And she was the reason why I ended up ordering the extensions in the first place about 4 or 5 years ago, because I loved her videos. Imogen does all sorts of awesome hair tutorials on YouTube and I absolutely love her channel, so I was really honored when she asked me to do an actual video on her extensions. I thought it was awesome. The color selection process on the website was super easy. They have a ton of different blondes to choose from, which is something that even when I was brunette and I used to get clip-in extensions, I would always look at the blonde section because you can really tell a lot about a hair extension company by the quality of their blondes. As weird as that sounds, so many hair extension companies have maybe 3 or 4 shades of blonde, and usually they're really yellow or they're just too warm and they do not match normal blonde color hair. I started out with the 24-inch extensions and I have cut them up significantly since then, so realistically I could have probably ordered the 20-inch extensions, but I wanted to show you the difference between super long and the way that I usually like to wear them, but totally up to you for whatever length you want to get. Just remember that when they are cutting them, they are going to cut out a bit of the length. So if you do want really long extensions, go with the longest set available and have your hairdresser bring up the ends just a little bit. I usually only use 3 wefts in my head just because it gives me the effect that I want to achieve from extensions, but the reason why I order a larger or a deluxe set is so that when I have 3 in my head that are curly, I can then also have others that are straight. The nice thing about that is that you're not constantly having to style the extensions and you're not always having to style your hair with them, which is awesome. So what I mean by that is when these extensions are out, they sit in their little pile and they stay curly, and whenever I choose to have curly hair on my natural hair, I just clip in the curly ones, and whenever I choose to wear my hair straight, I clip in these straight ones. And it's awesome because then you don't have to waste time doing extra styling with extensions. And also, it's really great for the sake of you don't have to wash them as often if you're alternating between the 2 different sets. So as I said, I have 3 in right now. This set comes with 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces plus a piece that was meant for color matching. And so I'll show you in the next clip, but when you get your set of extensions, you will get a color matching piece. And do not take your extensions out of the packet yet. Only take the color matching piece out because that piece will be what you match to your hair, and double check if it is the right color for your hair. Usually most hair extension companies say that if you have opened the entire packet of hair extensions, they won't return them just for like health and safety or whatever. But if you obviously open the tester piece, it doesn't matter because if it doesn't match, then you can just send the other pieces back. The last thing I want to touch upon before going into the salon portion of this video is storage. Make sure you store your extensions properly because it will extend the life of them so much more. I really recommend getting a proper storage kit. The one that I have looks like this. It is like a coat hanger that has 2 little clamps that clamp onto your wefts. And the cool thing about this is it also comes with like a little garment bag type thing. So you put it in here, zip the zipper up, and you can hang it wherever in your closet, take it traveling, it doesn't really matter, but it keeps everything really, really shiny and nice and straight and smooth rather than it like being crumpled in a ball in the bottom of like your hair basket. I'm gonna jump to the salon portion.
So I'm going to be cutting Chris's clip-on extensions in today for her. We've got the Foxy Locks extensions today to cut.
We're excited.
Yeah, we've just freshly done Chris's hair today, so she's had some blonding, so she has got some overtoning done, so there's a bit more ashy than what's here. This is more of a goldeny blonde, but it's going to suit him fine once her hair rinses out from the blonde conditioner that you can see on my
As you can see on her blonde hands. For my own hair, the way that we have it cut, my ends are a little bit, what is it, feathered or just not
as blunt.
Whereas say someone like Brooke has blunt ends. So these extensions being quite blunt already, we will have to kind of not really thin them out at the bottom, but feather it in more to my hair versus if it was on someone like Brooke, she could probably leave the ends quite blunt, but it just suits whatever kind of existing haircut and hair type that you have. But I wanted to go over different kind of questions that you would ask your hairstylist, I guess if you called up and you were looking to get your extensions cut, like what you'd have to ask them. And Brooke and I came up with a couple things, being first question, have you cut extensions before? Because as Brooke was saying earlier, not every hairdresser or hairstylist knows.
Well, you don't just learn it at TAFE. You don't just learn it at college or TAFE or anything like that. It's something that additionally
not like real hair.
We had to. Yeah, no, it's not like real hair.
That's it. So there's tons of different techniques that you have to know as a hairstylist to be able to properly cut in extensions, or they won't look as natural or as real as possible. And I mean, that's really the end goal. So definitely ask, have they cut particularly clip-in extensions before? And then also ask just cost-wise, because every salon probably is going to have some kind of different cost structure, because this might be considered like an extra, or what would you guys label it under?
Well, yeah, it would be, we would call it an extension cut, so it's more than just your normal
average cut.
Yeah, and then some hairdressers might say, oh, you're going to have to come in with your hair straight, or we would prefer to straighten your hair, so it might become like shampoo cut, blow dry, and extension cut. So you kind of have to get that before,
make sure you know, because like if you go in and all of a sudden you're charged an extra $100 and you're like, oh, I can't afford this, or this is a bad idea, then you're going to leave feeling really gross about the experience, whereas that's something you should ask right away so that you're prepared, you know what you're expecting, and you're really happy with the outcome. I think that was kind of it for like what we wanted to go over of what to ask beforehand, so let's jump into cutting. Only other thing that I wanted to mention is that since there is so much hair in these Foxy Locks extension kits, I believe I got the deluxe one where it has just a lot more to the weft. For my own head, I probably wouldn't wear all of the wefts in like one go. Not to say that you couldn't, you definitely absolutely could. If your hair was more thick or more coarse, absolutely, you wouldn't have a problem adding the whole pack. But for me personally, I like to add about half the pack to 3/4 of the pack to get the look that I desire. So we'll cut everything just to show you what it looks like, but be aware that I don't always wear all of my wefts at once. And they come with extra little wefts holder clips too. That's the word. Okay, cool. So we have 4 pieces that have 2 clips on them, which is already a lot of hair. We have a 4-clip piece that's your widest piece, and Brooke has
3 clips.
3 clips. So we will attach these into my head and show you guys how to get these cut.
Yeah. I'm going to cut it each layer at a time, so I've got it clipped in at the moment, and I'm going to go pretty much to where her natural hair ends. I'm just going to take the corners off, just so anywhere she places it through the hair, it's going to slightly blend. It's not going to be as blunt and as sitting as bulky and blocky as it is. And I'm just slide cutting.
And that is something that you should be asking for, hey Brooke.
Yes, slide cutting, no blunt cutting on extensions. I don't anyway.
They just blend so much more realistically if you do slide cut.
I kind of one day just want to show you exactly what would happen if you did blunt cut and see the difference.
No, because
right now!
Don't do it! No, because I had that happen when I went to another salon in Canada, remember? And it was so blunt, and I FaceTimed you, and you got your hair cut. I'm like, oh, she knew.
Yeah, I did. So I just go through now and I just slide cut just a few little tiny layers throughout. It's not like cutting natural hair. You don't have to like pick up and do it as evenly as what you would have to with natural hair. It's kind of as you go, you do it. And then once you've done that, you get this kind of shape. I just like to just chip out just a little bit just so that if it does go in, anywhere it does go in the hair, you won't get lines. That's just deep point cutting the bottom a bit. And it will just feather her hair out so that it does match in with the haircut that she's got. Again, you could put them back, you could have the blunt, and you would, if you wanted that desired look, the blunt cut and everything, you could totally put that in hair like mine, or someone's a bit thicker. But for Karissa's, I'd say to definitely, or anyone that's got that finer kind of textured hair, I would definitely keep it more feathered. Now I'm at the side, so I'm going to be taking off her face layer here. I'm going to just be taking those corners off. So off the front here, you take a fair bit off, so don't freak out when they do take the length. I mean, I've kept as much length through the back as I can, so it will go to about a 20-inch length, whereas this is, yeah, taking off a few inches through this section.
It needs to taper though, because if it doesn't, look at where my natural hair sits. If you basically went from like there to there, it just won't look good. So if they do shave off the corner and shape it into your existing cut, it is going to benefit you in the end, even though, like you said, it was a little bit scary when you see the extension you just paid for on the ground.
Yeah, exactly. You're going to see that much come off. Like, you're going to see literally that come off, but you have to. Okay, I'm getting your client to hold your hair again. And voila.
And the reason why I'm holding them while she's cutting is just to make sure that it doesn't slip whatsoever while the scissors are in her hands. Obviously, usually if you're styling them, you wouldn't actually have to like full on hold on to them, but I just want to be careful because my hair is freshly washed, so there's not a lot for it to grab, as well as I just don't want her to slip while she has scissors in her hands. That would not be very nice. You can kind of see it a little bit overtoned in my own hair, but like really you could get away with that quite easily, especially if it was curly.
Yeah,
I've never noticed if it was curly.
I've just cut it all in now. We've taken out the blunt edges off the bottom of the hair, and we've just slightly shaped it in so that it sits more in like a bit more of an oval shape rather than the square blunt that it used to be. And then if we pull the hair around to the front, it all matches in perfectly throughout the front as well. So you can kind of see where her natural hair is at the moment just because of the overtoning like we were mentioning before, but it does flow a lot better now that it's been cut in a little bit. And I've done like some slight layers just through the mid-lengths there, just so that they blend in a little bit. So when they're curled and everything as well, you'll definitely be able to get that, not that this is short, this is long kind of thing. It kind of softened it in a bit.
It is good to keep your extensions wavy or curly if you really want them to look as natural as possible. I find it hard sometimes with shorter hair to wear my hair straight, but for having a good cut, I mean, it makes all the difference of it to actually blend in well when it's straight. So if it blends in straight, it's definitely going to blend in curly.
I mean, once we put a little bit of blonde conditioner in these too, it would be worth mentioning as well. I wouldn't colour the extensions. If anything, I would blonde condition them to tone them, or if you really had to, I would go no more than a 5 vol on top of them if you needed to colour match the hair. But you've got to remember that they're not getting the nutrients from your scalp. Once you do any damage to these, they're not going to repair. That's the damage that you've done in that set. So just be ultra careful with them and just baby them.
So that is everything for cutting. Thank you so much, Brooke, for helping me out. And I will, I guess, see you guys when I'm back in my room, probably filming in the next couple of days to finish off this video. Weird awkward ending. Okay, bye guys.
Bye.
I hope that you found this video helpful if you are looking to buy hair extensions, or if you already have hair extensions but they just don't blend the way you want them to. Don't forget that Imogen does have a YouTube channel if you want to find out any more tips and tricks for hair extensions, or if you want really awesome hair tutorials that include hair extensions. She has awesome videos. I'll leave her link down below. And I think that's everything. If you have any more questions, feel free to put them down in the comments. I will try and get back to as many as I can, and have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye!
Scale 1 to 10, you a 0. Looking for a flicker, looking for a flicker. Triple link chain on my neck, weigh a kilo. Just violated, piss dirty to his deal. On a real scale 1 to 10, you a 0.